Like, listen, you can tell I was not involved in Nakai's design because I hate it. Can I show the mysterious elf card? Yeah. Well, we're about to go play Gwent right up here, so we'll see in a moment. It's a legendary card that's a spy, but it costs 0. So normally when you play a spy, you put it into your enemy's playing field, so it works against you. But because the mysterious elf is so freaking awesome, or because he costs 0, it allows you to draw 2 cards at no downside.
Well, what is it?
Gwent!
Gwent. Know the game?
The gulls shit off cliffs. Let's see your deck. It's been a dull day. We'll play for my Karakan.
Let's do it!
Show me what you can do.
Show me what you can do. Let's see. And the other good thing about him is that he works in this deck. Actually, I think he's a neutral card, so you can take him in any deck. Really feel like I should strip. I could strip Prince Stennis out of my deck. Cause he's kind of a garbage spy, to be honest, and I don't want to have my deck too bloated. Sacred Blade of Quetzal should be slapped with an 18% physical resistance like the Mace of Olmec has. I would probably do something a little different. You don't want them to be carbon copies. You want to spice things up a little bit where you can. Triple decoy against a monster deck? I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe a fun who would win for Lorebeards. I only accept those on Sunday, or I look for matchups on Sundays from the Who Would Win Arena in the Discord. So if you want it to happen, put it in there. Ooh, lovely. There are 4 Necker cards? Huh. Dragon. Blech. My opponent has passed.
Well. Dreamer donated $10. Just want to say love the content. Thanks for everything you do. Quick question: Kislev has been matched with Korn and Zionch with Cathay. What will pair with Nurgle and Slanch, you think?
First of all, thank you very much for the $10 tip. I really appreciate it, especially since I'm about to go on a big trip next month. Any and all money is going straight to trip funds, so I really appreciate that. Thanks for the tip. In answer to your question, Slaanesh and Nurgle are probably going to be fighting each other. Especially since Tzeentch is invading the Grand Bastion and Khorne is invading Kislev. That would be the perfect time for the other 2 scamps, Nurgle and Slaanesh, to start fighting each other. Because since Tzeentch and Khorne are both busy and they tend to be the dominant forces, there's literally no better time for them to try and make as many gains in the Realm of Chaos as possible. So I think they're going to be trying to absorb the lands of the other 2, and because they're both competing for the same thing, they're going to start fighting each other. So I think that we're gonna, because think about what would release alongside it as far as reveals go. It would make sense, right? Because if your goal is to show off parts of the game as we stumble towards release, then what better than to reveal those 2 together, right? Slaanesh and Nurgle. Because what you can do as part of that is that you can show off the campaign map. You can show off the Realm of Chaos. Because those 2 are fighting over it. So it would be a perfect time to show off that that part of the game. If that makes sense. I thought High Elves would be with Nakari because he's hinted at... Well, Nakari is hinted at very heavily in Warhammer 2, but he's hinted at in more than just the High Elves. Nakari is hinted at in the Tomb Kings campaign. Well, not hinted at, he shows up. In the Tomb Kings campaign, the High Elf campaign, and the Lizardman campaign. If you play the single player on all of those, Nakari shows up in all of them. Madman Lugos is gonna be pissed about the Dragon Cycle play, man.
Dying to gut ye. But then, they'd say Lugos had gone even madder. Take my Katakana's sword off.
Yeah, we did it.
Once tried to take the jewel
We
from
finished all the big Gwent players.
Friends we show.
And we got the Vampire Catachan card.
Show our axe. Remember that.
Vampire Catachan. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That actually makes the vampire substantially better. I'm gonna throw a bunch of cards on my deck. And I'll deal with this next time we play someone. Do I think we'll get Kugoth Plaguefather? Yes.
Continental
Oh, we
bounty
also got
from
a new Emir card.
corpses out of the inn.
Nice. Yes, I think it's gonna be Kugoth Plaguefather versus Nakari. So how are we doing on our cards? We're still missing. We're missing one Eridan card, which is the Treacherous. Doubles the strength of all spies. Oh my lord. We're missing. How many Nilfgaard cards are we missing? I think we're just missing the last one for all of them. Torrential Rain, 3 cards in your opponent's hand. Cancel your opponent's leader ability. Draw a card from your opponent's discard pile. Abilities that restore a unit to the battlefield. Restore a random unit. Huh. Penetral Fog. Clear Weather. Double Strength of Siege. Destroy your opponent's strongest siege. Destroy your opponent's strongest range. Then the Queen. Play Frost, draw an extra card, double your range units, destroy your enemy's combat units, move agile units to whichever row maximizes their strength. Woo, that one's pretty strong. I wonder where we get the top cards from, because it seems like it's heavily suggesting that I'm imagining they all kind of come from the same place. We have all the leader cards except for the top ones. What do I hope Nurgle's faction mechanics will be? I want Nurgle's faction mechanics to revolve very heavily around creating and, like, spreading plague and despair. So, like, trying to, like, causing diseases that then spread around the world and, like, taking advantage of them. Lore about Tic-Tac-Toe? You didn't redeem points for that. Fun thing about Tic-Tac-Toe is, as the Master of the Skies of Hexwaddle, he's basically like the big bad Sky Master, or Scout Master of Hexwaddle. And he actually is the reason, him alone, to be honest, he is the reason that Hexwaddle did not fall to Vashnar the Tormentor. Because Vashnar the Tormentor led a massive invasion of Lustria, and was going to destroy the city of Hexwaddle, and the only reason it survived is because of Tic-Tac-Toe. Because he held them off for long enough.
Cursed Sotek spawn!
Is this my first time playing Witcher 3? Yes, that's why we have the first playthrough tag on the stream. But yes, this is my first ever playthrough of The Witcher. We have done everything in Velen Novigrad, unless we get some further stuff to pursue there. We've even cleared out all the points of interest in both of those places, with the exception of the mountain in Velen, because apparently we have to go there later. And now we're exploring Skellige.
Greetings, Yen.
Good thing you're here. The frostbite was starting to set in.
Well, you should have worn something warmer.
You should have dressed warmer.
Next you'll be pinning mittens to my coat. Can we go?
Yeah.
Quite a few years since I was last on Hindisfjall, but if I remember correctly, Lofoten should be this way.
Was Mazda busy sleeping? No,
Raised
Mazda Money
huts
wasn't
and
there.
fresh
Mazda Money had
roads.
left.
This must be it.
Gathering of some kind. We've come at a bad time.
There's no good time to talk about the Wild Hunt.
the Mazda Mundi had left because they had recently discovered a whole bunch of sacred plaques, and he had gone off to ruminate over them in in a place that was very significant on the ley lines of the geomantic web, so that he could kind of open his mind and contemplate better and try to decipher their meaning.
Sat oar to oar. Raided the black ones together.
But when they attacked, he fled.
Roach's best girl? I like
Ritual
your
of
manner
some
of thinking.
kind. We'll have to wait.
We'll do no such thing.
Yen, good lord.
Dear sisters, pardon the interruption, but we've an important matter to discuss.
Can you not see we're commemorating the dead? So,
And we're looking for someone who's still alive. Please, this is urgent. Then speak.
They say the Wild Hunt destroyed this village.
That is true, though few believe us. You don't either, I'm sure. Did you see riders on skeletal horses, wearing frost-covered armor?
Aye, that's how it was. They landed on our shores in a ship made of the claws of dead men, like in the ballads. Leif yelled to grab the children. Then they came, cut him across his face. He tried to whisper, only blood came out.
You were to ask about someone, not prod their wounds. That's enough. What happened then?
Let's see. For a question I meant the other way around. What Witcher characters would the dwarfs accept as being okay? Ugh. They would probably tolerate Zoltan, but they would not see him as kin. They would tolerate him. He definitely would not be allowed within a lot of the major holds. Or at least nowhere sensitive. Like, they would allow him in, like, the visitors area. I think they would respect Geralt, because Geralt seems to be really, really big on maintaining his word, and he's also much longer lived than most humans, and the biggest thing is that he holds to his oaths. If Geralt says he's going to do something, he does it. And he seems really consistent about that, and takes his word seriously. I think that...
X100. I'm really liking Yen less and less.
Yeah, me too. I'm not a huge fan of Yen. Yeah, so far. But yeah, I think they would like a lot of the Witchers, at least from the Wolf School that we've seen, like Geralt and what's his face? Oh gosh, I'm drawing a brain fart. The old man. I think they would like them. And they would fight alongside battle with them. But most of the other Witcher characters, no, the dwarves would hate them. They wouldn't just not like them; they would hate them. All of the witches, absolutely not. Vesemir, thank you. All the witches, like, A, they use magic. That's a big no-go. B, they are treacherous snakes. No way the dwarves would want anything to do with them. And all, like, the spies and, like, how crappy a lot of the humans are in this world. Yeah, the dwarves would probably like them even less than they do. I mean, dwarves generally do not like men. They like the Empire because there's a lot of ancient oaths and alliances there. And, you know, High King Kurgan Ironbeard made an oath, and the dwarves take that super seriously to consider them allies. But, anyway. I don't think we're going to learn anything more. Go on.
Go on.
I ran out to get help, to get Leif. But so many bodies. Yole, Ingvar, little Necky.
Which way did the riders go?
Towards the sea, through the ravine, on horses made of bones. Bones and ice and...
Enough! Get to the point. Now.
We're looking for a young woman, name of Ciri. Ashen hair, green eyes.
I'm sorry. She is not here.
Unless she lies in a grave. That is, I do not recall one by that name. But I've buried so many, I may have forgotten.
This Ciri, has she a scar here on her cheek?
Yes, Yes, what happened to her?
Don't know. Saw her but for a moment, right before it all. She was in the stables with Craven. 1,000 curses upon him.
Raven?
Remember anything else? Anything at all?
Only that she seemed tired. Very tired. And her hair was wet.
Great. So we know she bathed. Progress.
I'm sorry,
Craven!
My apologies. Craven. Craven could have told you more.
Oh, interesting. So Craven isn't his real name, it's what they're calling him.
This Craven you mentioned, does he have a name?
He did. Until the elders struck him from the saga of ancestors. It's as if he has ceased to exist. The lore forbids anyone from touching him, speaking to him, even uttering his name.
What did he do to deserve that?
He fled from the wild hunt. He alone.
We need to talk to him, even if it's not in keeping with your customs.
You've come too late. He went to the garden to fight Morkvag.
Morkvag? That doesn't sound good.
A coward who willingly seeks battle? Am I the only one who sees the contradiction?
That's why he did it. Craven knew he would prove the elders wrong only if he killed Morkvarg. And thus regain his honor and his name.
Trial by ordeal. Very Skelligan.
I do not mock your laws. Please also respect ours.
What is Morkvarg?
Morkvarg. What's that?
Who, you mean? The vilest man ever to inhabit Skellige. Nothing was ever sacred to him. He attacked his own clan's lands, took gold from Nilfgaard, killed children, pregnant women.
Know the type.
They said he feared only one thing, the wrath of the gods. Morkvarg sought to prove how wrong they were, so he sailed to Hindisfjall to ransack the goddess's garden. This was over a decade ago. Archpriestess Ulva stood in his way. He thrust a blade between her ribs and cast her down in the mud. As her lifeblood left her, she cursed him, and Morkvarg transformed into a beast.
A curse? A monster? You've got some work to do.
Interesting. That almost kind of implies that... Man, the way curses work in this universe is wild. Like, it seems like it's... Like, anybody can cause a curse very easily. Which, it almost seems like it's a like, it's not a god doing it. It's just like a force in and of itself.
I can get rid of Morkvarg. Don't know what he's turned into, but a silver sword should do the trick.
It's not that simple. There have been those who have bested Morkvarg, yet he always returns.
So, it's a complex curse, meaning I need more information.
I understand, but I've told you all I know. Speak with Toradar's son, Einar. He was in the garden when Morkvarg and his men attacked. He saw what happened. Of all the pilgrims there at the time, he alone escaped with his life. He settled in Larvik. You'll find him there at the landing, provided he's not out to sea when you arrive.
Where is this garden?
Where is this holy garden?
Not far from here. North. We cultivated healing herbs there once.
And now?
Now we walk only as far as the tree the goddess planted. We place our offerings and make our pleas before it. Those who venture below remain in the garden forever.
Thanks for your help.
I understand you intend to enter the garden. I dislike it when foreigners enter the sacred grounds, but so be it. Custom demands pilgrims make an offering of their own blood before the tree. Craven surely did so. Unless he lacked not only courage, but respect for Freyr as well.
You needn't worry about us. Geralt and I always give the gods the respect they are due.
You are so full of shit. You are so full of it.
Seems he did not come to pray.
Alright. Lore fact about Baston, and maybe it's Duke. Well, it's Duke, Bahamut the Beastslayer. Very interesting guy. So, Bahamut the Beastslayer he is a direct descendant of Gilles Le Breton. And Baston is the kingdom that kind of draws a lot of its lineage back to them. Like their symbol, the symbol on their shield, which is that of a dragon, is very, I forget what his name is off the top of my head, but it's very specifically it's a specific dragon, which is the dragon that Gilles Le Breton single-handedly killed as part of his myth. And the skin of that dragon, its scales, or its hide, was taken to make a very potent magical cloak. And that has been passed down through the lineage of the rulers of Baston. And Bahamut the Beast Slayer, when shit gets real, he wears it. But Bahamut the Beast Slayer has made a pretty good name for himself as a very competent monster slayer. And is probably one of the most skilled knights in Bretonnia when it comes to just like sheer raw, like something needs to be slain. But I wouldn't go so far as to describe him as a major character in like the annals of Bretonnia. He does pop up now and again. During the Storm of Chaos alternate timeline, Bahamut the Beast Slayer was actually one of the few dukes who rode to the aid of the Empire and helped fight against Archaon the Everchosen. However, in the End Times storyline, I don't think he does anything. Or I think Bahamut dies fairly early on. Like, he either dies in the Civil War, or he dies immediately after the Civil War. But he dies very early.
Winds howling.
But he's a great character. He has some very potent magic items, because most of his items are passed down from Gilles Le Breton himself. So he carries that heraldry with him. But he's made a good name for himself. He's killed a good number of beasties. I don't think he's slain a dragon yet. I know he wants to, but I don't believe he's had the opportunity to face a dragon. Yeah. So hopefully that's enough of a lore fact for you. He's a great character though. And there's if you ever look up his wiki page, there's a direct quote that's a snippet from a White Dwarf article that they wrote on him. It's a great little story. But I think with that, chat, we have come to the end of today's stream. Thank you all very, 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 very much for watching. I hope you've all had a fun time today. I hope you enjoyed a lot of the Tzeentch stuff that happened earlier today and everything we talked about. But we've been going for about 5 hours, and I think it's a good time to call it. Especially because I've got a tournament tomorrow that I need to get ready for. Yes, we will, of course, do a raid. Of course we're going to do a raid. We always do a raid.